Lesson 12, Chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variations. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about the topic called mutation. What is mutation? The alterations of genotypic and phenotypic characters of organisms due to sudden change in the structure of genes or chromosome is called as mutation. So you have already got this word earlier in the chapter Organic Evolution. So there Hugo postulated the mutation theory. Mutation, it simply means that whenever there is any change in the genotypic or the phenotypic character of a particular organism, and that change comes because of the change in the structure of a gene or change in the chromosome, then such changes in these individual units, which are the genes and the chromosomes, it leads to change in the whole structure or behavior in that particular individual of organism. And this change that can be seen due to the change in the structure of the genes or the chromosome, it is only called as mutation. The whole phenomenon, it is called as mutation. So here I like to add another term which is called as variation. You all know that no living organism is same. Even in the human beings, we have several types of variation. Even the children of the same parents, they are not the same. And these variations, they comes due to crossing over of the chromosomes or the chromosomal parts during the process of meiosis cell division. So in that way, our nature, they have many variants for a particular species. Now, you all also know that there are several numbers of species in this whole living world. And while discussing the chapter evolution, so there you came to know that all these millions of species that are present on the earth now, these are all result of somewhat mutation also. That means there certain changes have taken place in the DNA structure or the genes or the chromosomes which have led to variations. So what I wanted to say, that variations, it can be either for genetic recombination, or that we have studied as crossing over, or it can be due to mutation. But there is a difference between this mutation and crossing over. Mutation, that is always a sudden change in the structure of the genes. So that is not normally found in the nature. So that is always a sudden one. When any sudden alteration takes place in any of the base pairs in the DNA, or sudden change in the structure of the chromosome, which leads to the change in the whole genotypic and phenotypic feature of that particular individual for that particular species. So that is only mutation. Whereas the genetic recombination, it takes place during every gamete formation process during the process of cell division. Now for mutation, there are some factors that leads to mutation in a particular organism, and those factors, they are called as mutagen. So mutagen, they are any extracellular, physical or chemical factors which can cause mutation or increase the frequency of mutation in organisms. And such mutagens or the factors, they can be temperature, chemicals, X-ray, gamma ray, alpha ray, etc. So all these can be the mutagens or the factors that leads to mutation, or it increases the frequency of mutation in a particular organism. Now let's learn about the types of mutation. Types of mutations. So there are normally 3 types of mutation, and those are chromosomal aberration or structural change in chromosomes. Then the second one, this is called as ploidy or change in the number of chromosomes. And the third is called as gene mutation, or this is called as point mutation also. Now these are the 3 conditions, or these are the 3 types of mutation through which mutation occur. Now let's study in detail about these 3 types of mutation. Here the first type, that is chromosomal aberration or structural change in chromosomes. Chromosomal aberration means abnormalities in the chromosome. When any part of the chromosome it faces any kind of abnormality, then that is only called as chromosomal aberration. And one such type of chromosomal aberration, this is called as the deletion. So in case of deletion, it is the loss of an intercalary segment, that means the middle segment of a chromosome, or the terminal segment of a chromosome, which is produced by a double break or a single break in the chromosome, followed by the union of the remaining parts. So as you can see in the diagram, that here 2 chromosomes are shown. So one is the normal chromosome and the other one, that is the shorter one, so that is the one which is after the process which took place suddenly in the chromosome. So that is called as deletion. So after deletion, what happened, that in the second chromosome a part it got lost and it became shorter, and that shorter segment that get lost because of any circumstances that was produced inside the cell or inside the nucleus. So that led to the loss of that particular segment of the chromosome, which deleted some parts of the genes present in that particular part. That led to the loss of the characters from that particular chromosome. And one such type of syndrome that can be seen as a result of deletion, which is called the Cry-Du-Chat syndrome, that takes place in case of human beings, and this is the outcome of the deletion process which happens in the chromosome 5 in case of some people. Usually here the cases that is very much rare. So here in this case what happened, that as from the name it is called as Cry-Du-Chat or Cry-Du-Cat. This is also called as cat-cry syndrome, because during the initial years or during the infant stage, the first symptom that is seen, that is that the infant it cries like that of a cat. It sounds like that of a cat, and along with that there are some other symptoms, such as that particular infant they have a very small chin, then they have abnormally round face, then they have some poor muscular health. So in that way the infant they shows some kind of abnormality because of the loss of that particular part of the chromosome, that is the chromosome 5, which was as a result of the deletion or loss of segment of the chromosome 5. So this is one type of chromosomal aberration. The next type is called as deficiency. So in case of deficiency, it is the loss of a terminal segment of a chromosome. So here basically this is the terminal segment of a chromosome, and it is produced by a single break in the chromosome. So deficiency, it will lead to the loss of segment again, which is same as that of deletion, but here it is always from the terminal segment. Then comes inversion. So in case of inversion, it is the type of chromosomal aberration in which the part of the chromosome segment gets inverted by 180 degree. That means what, it gets changed or it gets totally misplaced by 180 degree, where the shuffling of genes takes place, and this shuffling of the genes that leads to the chromosomal abnormality. And if I say shuffling, here shuffling it doesn't take place due to the crossing over process. So here some loops may be formed in the chromosome during the formation of the chromosome from the chromatin fiber. So at that particular stage, a loop may have formed, and that loop it got interchanged the genes that is present over that chromosome, and that interchanging of the genes that leads to the aberration, which is called as inversion. Then next comes duplication. So it is the phenomenon of having an extra chromosomal segment attached to its normal homologous chromosome, so that a gene or a set of genes is represented twice in the same chromosome. So here what happens, that an extra chromosomal segment get attached in the normal homologous chromosome. Say for example, the homologous chromosome, they have the genes A, B, B, C, C. Now what happens that now they have the duplicate copies of this A, B and C gene in the homologous chromosome. So there will be double pair of A or double pair of B and a single pair of C. So in that way, so when there is an extra chromosomal segment of the same gene in the normal homologous chromosome, then that is called as duplication. That means what, the duplicate genes, they may have come into that particular place, and if this new segment gets attached to the adjacent region of the similar segment, the duplication, it is called as the repeat or tandem, which is, that means this whole process or that particular part, that is called as the tandem. Then comes translocation. So translocation, so this is completely like that of a crossing over, but this is not crossing over. So here it is the separation of a chromosome segment and its union to a non-homologous chromosome. So in case of crossing over, there the interchange, it took place between the homologous chromosomes, the non-sister chromatid of the homologous chromosome, but here is the word translocation, it is there. So here also the exchanges takes place, but here the exchanges takes place in the non-homologous chromosomes, and as a result it affects the normal nature of the chromosomes or the normal arrangement of the genes in the chromosomes. So in this way we see the chromosomal aberrations or abnormalities that can take place suddenly in an individual cell or in the gametic cells. Now let's come to the next type of mutation, which is called as ploidy, or this is the change in the number of chromosomes. So ploidy here, it means the number of sets of chromosome in a cell. So as you know that the gametes, they possess the haploid set, that is half the number of chromosomes, and a normal somatic cell, it possesses the diploid set of chromosome, that is double the number of chromosome. Now the number of chromosomes that can be increased depending upon the condition, and this is a very known phenomenon in case of the plants during the plant breeding process, where the number of chromosome that is increased by the plant breeders. And all this, it brings some changes in the phenotypic or the genotypic characters in that particular plant body. So here we are going to discuss about two basic types of ploidy, which is called as polyploidy and aneuploidy. Polyploidy, it is the phenomenon of having more than two sets of chromosome or genomes. It occurs in nature due to the failure of chromosomes to separate at a time of anaphase either due to non-disjunction or due to non-formation of spindle, and it can be artificially induced by application of a chemical which is called as colchicine. Now in case of ploidy, here the number of chromosomes or the total set of chromosome that can be increased by its double, triple or more in case of the plants. And sometimes it occurs in nature, naturally, and this happens during the mitosis or meiosis cell division process, where the chromosomes, they fails to get separated during the anaphase cell division. Anaphase, that was a stage which was found in case of mitosis and meiosis, or in both the types of cell division. So there, during the anaphase cell division, the chromosomes, they needs to separate and go towards the pole. But here, due to some kind of non-disjunction, the chromosomes in the cell, they fails to separate, and in that way we get more than 2 sets of chromosomes in a cell or in the total genome. The genome, that it means the total set of the chromosomes in the cell, or that may also happen due to non-formation of the spindle. So as you know that during the cell division process, spindle fibers, they are responsible for separating the chromosomes towards both the poles. So here another condition where the polyploidy may occur in nature, that is due to the non-formation of the spindle fibers during the process of cell division. And generally the plant breeders, they artificially induce it. That means it is a known phenomenon in case of plant breeding, where by applying a chemical which is called as colchicine, the number of chromosome that is increased. And there are many such type of plants. So one such example, that is the Raphaniobrassica, and the other one that is called as the triticle. So here the Raphaniobrassica, that is the hybridization of 2 species, that is the Raphanus and the Brassica. The Raphanus, that is the radish, and the Brassica, that is the mustard plant. And this radish and the mustard plant, they were hybridized together, and it was made a polyploid species which is called as Raphaniobrassica. Similarly is the triticle. So this is the chart where for some common plants the total set of chromosome that is given here. Say for example, in case of maize, their diploid set, that is 20. In case of wheat, that is the hexaploid, because here it is increased by 6 times. So 6x is equal to 42. It becomes 42. Then rice, its diploid set, that is 24. Potatoes, here it is a tetraploid. 4x is equal to 48. So similarly, as you can see in the chart, that is the sugarcane, where it is a octaploid species. 8x is equal to 80. So in that way, this is the total set of chromosome that can be seen in case of the different plants naturally. Now let's come to aneuploidy, or this is also called as heteroploidy. So it is the condition of addition or loss of chromosome from the normal genome of the species. So here either addition of chromosome may take place or loss of chromosome may take place. So in case of ploidy, there the total set of chromosome that increased, but here it can be either addition or it can be loss of a chromosome from the normal genome of the species, and it can be of the following types. That is, it can be trisomic, where in the diploid set a number, one chromosome that may increase, which becomes twice n plus 1. And such example is that of the Klinefelter syndrome and the Down syndrome. So all these genetic disorders, we are going to discuss it in our next class. So similarly, so we find tetrasomic. Tetrasomic, it becomes when with the diploid set, when two number of chromosomes that get increased. Then comes monosomy. Monosomy, it is when from the diploid set, when one number it gets lost. So then it becomes twice and minus one. And there a common example, it is that of the Turner syndrome. So this also we are going to discuss in the genetic disorders. And one is there which is called as nullisomy, where from the diploid set two chromosomes or a pair of chromosomes that is going to get lost from the total set, and there it is represented by twice n minus 2. So all these are the changes in the ploidy of a cell, and which results into some abnormalities or some extra features in the plant body. And I just want to remind you that not all mutations are bad. Some mutations are good. So this polyploidy, it is used by the plant breeders for enhancing the variety of the crop plants. Now let's come to the third type of mutation, which is called as the gene mutation or point mutation, and this is the important one. Gene mutation or point mutation is a form of mutation due to alternation of the single nucleotides or nitrogen bases from its position in the genome. Now this point mutation or gene mutation, it is so called because the alternation, so change, it takes place suddenly in the structure of the gene. And as you know that the gene, it is a part of the DNA that expresses a particular character. So here the DNA, which is made up of nucleotides, and these nucleotides, these are made up of the nitrogen bases, which are the adenine, guanine, thymine and cytosine. So their pairing, they forms a particular coded information that is present inside the nucleus in the DNA. And if there is any change in that codes that expresses a particular character, then that leads to the mutation. So I hope you have understood that why it is called as the alternation in the single nucleotides or nitrogen bases. So it can be either the whole nucleotide or it can be just the nitrogen bases, which could be changed from its original position in the genome, or which is inherited from their parents, but due to some regions, as I have said, that there are always some factors such as the physical factors or the chemical factors that leads to the change in this whole information in the gene structure. Now the mechanism of this gene mutation or point mutation, it can take place in two ways. So one is the substitution and another one which is called as the frame shift mutation. Now let's at first discuss about the substitution process. So in substitution, a nitrogen base is changed with another. So it is very much simple. Here the nitrogen bases, they are changed with the another, and as you know that there are 4 nitrogen bases which is involved in the structure of the DNA. Here the purines are the adenine and the guanine, and the pyrimidines are the thymine and the cytosine. So here, as you know that adenine, it always pairs with thymine, and cytosine, it always pairs with guanine. So here in the first case, which is called a transition for substitution. So because substitution, that is also divided into two types. One is called as transition and the another one, it is called as transversion. So in transition, a nitrogen base is replaced, that is purine is replaced by another purine. Say for example, their adenine, it was there, but that adenine, it can be replaced by another purine which is guanine, while one pyrimidine is replaced by another. So in that case, that is called as transition. And The next step, this is called as transversion, where a purine base is replaced by or substituted by a pyrimidine base or vice versa. So let's take the example from this figure. Here in transition, as you can see, that pyrimidine, it is replaced by pyrimidine. That means T can be replaced. T, that means stands for the thymine. It can be replaced by a cytosine, or cytosine, it can be replaced by a thymine in the DNA structure, or it can be purine with the purine. Here adenine, it can be replaced by guanine, or guanine, it can be replaced by adenine. So the change in this nitrogen bases, so that will lead to the change in the coded information that is present there in the DNA structure, and which leads to the phenotypic or the genotypic changes, and that as a whole it may affect the physiology of the organism. And then comes transversion. So transversion, as you know now, here the pyrimidine, it is replaced by a purine. So here the pyrimidines, they are the thymine and cytosine. So this pyrimidine, that is thymine or cytosine, that can be replaced by the either adenine or guanine, which is A and G, or purines, it can be replaced by, the purines here are adenine and guanine. So these purines, they can be replaced by thymine and cytosine, which are the pyrimidines. So this will also alter the gene expression of a particular organism. Now let's come to the frame shift mutation. Frame shift mutation are those in which the reading of the frame of base sequences shifts laterally due to addition or deletion of one or more nucleotides. So here it means that the whole nucleotide that can be shifted to another frame laterally. It goes laterally, and this happens due to the addition or deletion of one or more nucleotides. So this we can understand it with the help of this example. This is an example that is there in the textbook, where two genes are compared. One is the normal hemoglobin gene, and the another one is the sickle cell hemoglobin gene. Now this is the normal gene, which consists of a amino acid which is called as glutamine. Here this is the sixth amino acid, and this sixth amino acid, it have its normal coding, that is GAG CTC. This is from the DNA. From DNA it gets coded into an mRNA GAG, and this GAG, it codes for the amino acid which is called as glutamine. Now this glutamine, it gets mutated, and where it gets mutated? It gets mutated in the adenine nitrogen base, or the whole nucleotide, it gets shifted. When this gets shifted, it becomes GUG in the mRNA, because the whole shifting, it took place in the DNA structure. As you can see there, that there from in the normal hemoglobin gene, their GAG and CTC, it was there in the DNA molecule, but here it is GTG. That means that adenine nucleotide, that is being shifted to GTG, and when it becomes GTG, then the other pairing, definitely it will become CSE, and this CSE, when it is a time to form the mRNA, so that produces GUG, and the GUG, now it codes for the amino acid which is called as valine. They're in the sixth position. So this is the sixth position. Now see, because of this change, the hemoglobin, which is a biconcave structure, now it becomes changed to, because of a single change in the nucleotide, it becomes change in the structure of the hemoglobin, which becomes narrower like that of a sickle. So this is the frame shift mutation, where because of the shifting of the frame, the amino acids in the mRNA molecule that gets coded in the mRNA molecule. So here you will learn this more elaborately in the next chapter, which is molecular basis of inheritance. So because of the shifting in this nitrogen bases or the nucleotides, the whole expression of the gene, it gets changed, and for such people, some people, they have a genetic disorder which is called as sickle cell anemia. And the sickle cell anemic people, they have some abnormalities in carrying or transporting the oxygen molecule into the capillaries, and that may reduce the chances of the removal of carbon dioxide from the blood too. And because of this, they have some kind of abnormality in the respiratory function of the body, along with some other symptoms as well. So this happens due to the frame shift mutation. So in today's video, I tried to discuss about the different types of mutation that takes place in the whole living world, and these mutations might have lead to, or this such kind of situations that might have lead to the formation of different kind of species. So this is one such factors that leads to the variations in the world of living organism. But mutation, that is not the only way of introducing variation. So there are many other mechanisms as well. So this mutation, this is just one of the concept or one of the occurrences that happens in the nature. And some mutations, they which are good and supported by nature, so that becomes persistent in the nature. But some mutations which are not good, they are generally eliminated from the nature. So this is all for the today's class. Thank you.